I used to think HOA corruption was subtle. Quiet fines, shady warnings, selective rule enforcement. But what I uncovered that night wasn't subtle at all. It was a secret family meeting held behind locked doors using HOA authority, HOA resources, and HOA power. And the worst part? The HOA president thought no one would ever connect the dots. They were wrong. When I moved into Willow Creek Estates, I knew the HOA had a reputation. People whispered about it at mailbox corners. Contractors rolled their eyes when they saw the neighborhood name. And longtime residents all said the same thing. Just keep your head down. The HOA president, let's call her Linda, had been in charge for over 8 years. No competition, no rotation, no transparency. Her family lived in the neighborhood too. Her sister, her cousin, her adult son, all in prime lots. First, I didn't think much of it, until the letters started showing up. My first HOA notice came 3 weeks after moving in. Trash bins visible from the street. Funny thing, my neighbor across the street had their bins out for 3 days straight. No notice, no fine. That neighbor just happened to be Linda's cousin. Then came the parking warnings. Then the landscaping violations. Then the unauthorized exterior modification notice for a flower pot. Every single enforcement seemed to hit the same people. And somehow never her family. That's when I started paying attention. One evening, an HOA email landed in my inbox by mistake. I could tell immediately it wasn't meant for residents. The subject line read, "Family meeting, don't share." It listed a date, time, and location. The location, the HOA clubhouse. The same clubhouse residents had to reserve weeks in advance, pay fees for, and follow strict rules to use. But this meeting? No reservation notice. No community announcement. No board agenda. Just names. All familiar ones. All related. I cross-checked public HOA records. Every major decision from the last year. New landscaping contracts. Security changes. Parking rule updates. All approved after closed sessions. Sessions that conveniently lined up with those same family names. That's when I realized this wasn't just favoritism. This was governance being hijacked. And I had proof. I didn't plan to confront anyone. I just wanted to confirm. So I drove by the clubhouse that night. Lights on. Cars parked outside. And inside, Linda, her sister, her cousin, her son, laughing, eating, reviewing paperwork. HOA paperwork. They forgot one thing. The clubhouse windows weren't tinted. And HOA rules required open access logs. I didn't interrupt. I documented. Photos, timestamps, vehicle plates, all legal, all public space. Then I went home and slept better than I had in months. The next morning I posted everything. Not emotionally, not angrily, just facts. Meeting time, family names, HOA resources used, past decisions connected. I didn't accuse. I asked one question. Why is the HOA president holding private family meetings using community property? Within an hour, the post exploded. Comments flooded in. Other residents shared stories, screenshots, old warnings, unequal fines. And then, the post disappeared. HOA admin privileges removed it. That was the confirmation everyone needed. By noon, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered, and Linda's voice came through, shaking with anger. You have no idea what you've started. She was right, because what started next was far bigger than she imagined. When an HOA president tells you, you have no idea what you've started, that's not a warning. It's a confession. Within 24 hours, residents received an email blast. Subject line, clarification regarding recent misinformation. Linda claimed the meeting was informal, non-official, purely social. But here's the problem. HOA bylaws don't allow any private use of community property without disclosure. And this meeting had meeting minutes. Another resident forwarded me something anonymously. PDF. Marked, Internal Discussion Summary. It outlined enforcement strategies, budget reallocations, And enforcement priorities. Every single priority avoided Linda's family properties. That was the nail. What Linda never expected. The neighborhood talking to each other. A private resident group formed. Then a lawyer joined. Then a former board member. By the end of the week, over 60% of homeowners signed a petition, demanding financial audit, a board recall vote, immediate suspension of the president. Linda called an emergency HOA meeting. Ironically, the largest meeting the clubhouse had ever seen. Residents stood against walls. Some listened from outside. When Linda took the podium, she wasn't confident anymore. She was cornered. One by one, residents spoke. Why were fines waived for your family? Why were contracts awarded without bids? Why did enforcement change after your family meetings? Linda tried to deflect. Then someone asked, "Can you explain why your son's property was exempt from the parking rule you enforced on others?" Silence. The lawyer stood, cited bylaws, cited state HOA law, cited misuse of authority. Then came the motion. Vote of no confidence. Hands went up. One by one. Even some board members voted against her. Linda resigned that night. Effective immediately. An independent management company took over. Audits were ordered. Fines refunded. And for the first time since moving in, the HOA worked for residents, not family. I didn't expose a family meeting. I exposed a system that relied on silence. And the moment the neighborhood stopped being quiet, everything changed. If you live under an HOA, read the rules, watch the patterns, and remember, power only works when no one questions it. Because sometimes, all it takes is one meeting they thought you'd never see.